Hey, it's Jose Sanchez with My Field Trainer. And every year I get questions from agents that get kind of freaked out on taking the Ahip exam. So today I'm going to show you guys how to create your own answer key for the Ahip training. So let's get started.
Before we get started with the exam, there is one piece of software that you're going to need, and that's Adobe Acrobat Pro. In order to make the key, we're actually going to take some screenshots, and we need to be able to convert those into readable text. So the program that I use is Adobe Acrobat Pro. If you have another PDF program that can do that for you, great. If not, I use Adobe Acrobat Pro, and I'll leave a link in the description below on how to get it.
Okay, before we get into the exam, I'm going to go ahead, since we downloaded the Adobe Acrobat DC program, I'm going to open that up so it'll be ready. And let me slide it over. I'm using two monitors here. All right, downsize that. And then I also want you to go over to the Windows Start menu. We're going to hit Start, and we're going to slide all the way down, almost to the bottom. And we're going to look for Windows Accessories. We'll click that icon. And I want to grab the snippet tool. This is a great tool. It allows me to take pictures of whatever's on my screen. So we're going to downsize that for a second. I'm going to go into part 1 of the overview. And I'm not going to read any of this information. I'm just going to go and hit the next button until I get to a question. Okay. Let me back up one here. Now I've already answered the first couple of questions. They actually changed the way that they're doing the exam this year. It used to be where you could take your mouse and click and drag and highlight information. But they've changed the actual program that they're using for the question. So this is what we're going to do. When you get to a question, you'll just pick any answer, and at the bottom you'll hit a submit button. The nice thing about the Ahip exam, it will tell you if the answer you chose was correct or incorrect. If it was wrong, it'll let you pick another answer until you pick the right answer. So like I said, I already answered the first two questions, so we're going to go through those kind of quick, and then I'll show you this process again. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the bottom of the screen and grab the little scissor icon. We'll click that. Now this is the snippet tool. It allows you to take a picture of whatever's on the screen. So I'm going to hit the little scissors here, and it's going to turn my screen kind of opaque. I'm going to draw a rectangle. I'm going to click the left click on my mouse, and I'm going to draw a rectangle around this question. That saved it to what we call a clipboard. So now I'm going to go to the bottom of my computer screen, and I'm going to click on the Adobe Acrobat program. I'm going to go up to the far left corner, and I'm going to hit File. We want to create, and we're going to create a PDF from the clipboard. So I'll click that. There we go. It took the picture that we captured through the snippet program, and it moved it into a PDF document. Now right now this is still a picture. What we're going to need to do is we're going to need to tell the Adobe program to convert this into actual typed text. So all we're going to do is we're going to go over to the right hand side, and I'm going to move down the icons until I get to the one that says Edit PDF. We're going to click on that. And right now, if you look, it says it's converting the picture into scanned text. If I scroll this bar down, I can see that this little box that says Recognize Text is checked. So what the program does for you is it'll take a picture and it converts it almost into like a Word document where everything is typed out. What we're going to do next is we're going to go up to File. We're going to go Save As. And I'm going to go to that folder I created, the Ahip folder. So we'll double click that. And I'm just going to put this, I'm going to call it 1, because we're going to actually make copies of all of the different questions in this exam. So I'm going to save this one. Okay, I can close this out. I'm going to go back down and open up the Ahip exam. We'll hit continue. And it brings up the second question. Like I said, I did the first two just to help you with the screen capture part. So we're going to go down to the bottom to the snippet tool. I'm going to go up to the top, hit the little scissors for new, because I want to make a new picture. The screen goes opaque. I'm going to left click, drag my mouse around to create a square. Let go of the left click button. Now it saved it as a picture. I'm going to go to the bottom of the screen, click on the Adobe Acrobat logo. We're going to go up to the top left. I'm going to hit File, Create, and we're going to slide over Create PDF from Clipboard. And now I'm going to repeat this process. We're going to go back to the right-hand side, and we need to edit this to make it readable. So I'll go to the third icon down, Edit PDF, and it's converting the picture into actual text. Then I'm going to go back to the top. I'm going to hit File, Save As. I'm going to choose the same Ahip folder, so I'll double click. And I'm going to call this 2 for page 2, and we'll hit Save. And I'll close this out. We're going to go back to the Ahip exam. I'm going to hit Continue. All right, so this is a fresh question that I didn't answer. So to save time, we're not going to read it. We're just going to randomly pick an answer, and we'll hit Submit and see if our guess is right. It's the incorrect answer. All we're going to do is hit Try Again, and we're going to pick a different answer. And Submit. That one's not it. Try again. Pick a different answer, hit Submit. That's the correct one. So now we need to take a picture of this screen. So I'm going to go to the bottom of the screen, click the little scissor icon, go to the top and click the scissor icon with New. I'm going to draw a little rectangle around the question and the answer. That's going to save it to our clipboard. We're going to go back down to the bottom of the page to the Adobe Acrobat program. I'm going to go up to the top left file, Create PDF from Clipboard. And now we have to make this a searchable text. So I'm going to go to the right, click the third icon to edit the PDF. And then we're going to save this as page 3. Save as. Everything's going in the same folder. And we'll just call this 3. All right, I'm going to close this out and go back to the module. I'm going to hit Continue. And we're going to do this again for this question. So I'll just pick something random. I'll hit Submit. That one's not it. I'll hit Try Again. That's not the right one. Let's try this one. That's not the right one. Let's try the last one. Last one's a charm. All right, that's the right one. We'll go back to the bottom with the snippet tool. I'm going to go up to the top for New. Everything goes opaque. I'm going to do a left click down to draw a rectangle around the question and the answer. Make sure you get the actual question and answer. That's saved to the clipboard. We'll go back to the bottom and we'll click our Adobe Acrobat program. And then we'll go File, Create, and PDF from Clipboard. We'll go to the right side and we'll do the third icon, Edit PDF. It's going to change the picture into typable text. And then we'll save it. File, Save As. We'll put it in the same folder. And we're going to call this 4. I'm going to close that out, and I'm going to go back to the exam. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to speed up the video while I go through all of the questions in this module, and I'll come right back to you. Okay, we are just coming to the end of the first module, and we're going to do the start, final, quick review. All right. Now, we're going to attempt the quiz. Now, before we do this, let's go back and look at all of the questions that we answered. So when we open this file, I have 31 different questions that I answered, and I have all the correct answers. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go to the Adobe Acrobat program. I'm going to go to File, Create, and I want to combine all the files into a single PDF document. So we took individual screenshots of all those questions. We need to combine them into one big document to make it very easy to search through to find the correct answers. I'm going to click this, combine files into a single PDF, and then we'll click Add Files. And I'm just going to do a Control A because I'm on a Windows computer to select all of these. So all of them are checked. I'm going to hit Open. It loaded all those individual questions into the document, and I'm going to go to the upper right corner and I'm going to hit Combine. And now it's taking all of those individual ones and it's putting it into one complete document. Okay, we're going to go back to the exam. I'm going to do the click to start final review, attempt quiz. Okay, this is what we're going to do to make your life easier. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my mouse and I'm going to highlight the first question, the whole thing. I'm going to do a keyboard shortcut. I'm going to do a Control C to copy. I'm going to come back down to the Adobe Acrobat program. I'm going to go and I'm going to click this little magnifying glass. Close that there. That opens up a search window. I'm going to click in the box and I'm going to do a Control V as in Victor to paste everything in. And then I'm just going to hit Next and let's see what happens. All right, this page contains some images. Would you like to run the text recognition? I'm going to hit yes, and we're going to do all of the pages. So it's going to double check everything that we did to make sure that it can read all of the images. So this will just take a minute or so. All right. It highlighted, it went through all of the documents, all those individual screenshots, and it found the actual question. Mr. Roberts has received his new Medicare card. I'm going to close this out so we can see it. This is the question. We'll go back to the exam just to make sure. Mr. Roberts has a new Medicare card in the mail, and the correct answer is, whoops, the card she received is valid. The changes have been made to protect Medicare beneficiaries. I generally will look for the last part of the sentence. So she should now destroy her old card. We'll go back to the exam, and I'm going to look for the question that ends with she should destroy her old card. There's no she, there's no she. There it is, right here. She should destroy her old card. Now, the answers may be in a different order, so I don't just go and say, hey, it's the last one, and go to the question and pick the last one because they mix them up. I always look at the last part of the sentence, so I will pick that as the correct answer. Now we'll go to the next one. I'm going to do a left click, highlight the question, Control-C to copy. Let's go back to the document, hit the little magnifying glass. I'm going to click in the square, and if it's blue, you can just paste right over it, Control-V, and we'll hit next. All right, sometimes you'll get this. Adobe Acrobat finished searching and there was no matches. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit OK. I'm going to double check. I'm going to click in the square. I'm going to hit the delete button and paste it in again. And no matches found. Okay, if we still can't find the answer, we are going to actually this time read the question and pick the answer that we feel may best answer the question. So for this one, I'm going to say part B. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to take a screenshot of this question. So we're going to take our snippet tool. I'm going to go new. And I'm going to go to the Adobe Acrobat program. I'm going to go File, Create, from Clipboard. And I'm going to do the same process, Edit to PDF. And I'm going to save this as a different wording. So we're going to go to the same folder. And I'm going to say this is number 1 in a not available. Okay, so right now it's not a big deal that that one question wasn't on there because we're going to find the answer for that. So let's go back to the exam. We're going to go to question number 3 and we'll highlight the whole thing. Control-C to copy. We'll go to our PDF document. I'm going to go in the search box, delete everything that's there, Control-V to paste, and we'll search. All right, so that one's in our key. So the answer to this one ends in Medigap policy and enroll in Part D prescription drug plan. So we'll go back to the exam. Medicare policy, enroll in prescription drug plan. Medigap policy and enroll in a Part D prescription drug plan. So let's double check that. Mr. Gutierrez cannot purchase a Medigap plan. It looks like the same one. All right, let's go to number 4. We will highlight this. Control C to copy. Go to our PDF document. I'm going to click in the box, delete to erase everything, paste it in, hit next. That one's here. So it ends in Part B services through original Medicare fee-for-service Medicare. So let's go back to our exam, fee-for-service Medicare. This one ends in fee-for-service Medicare, and it's the only one, so that's got to be the correct answer. And I'm going to go through this process for the whole mini test. So I'm going to speed this part of the video up, and I will see you in just a bit. Okay, we've answered all the questions. I'm going to hit submit all to finish. And we'll hit OK. All right, the nice thing with the review is it highlights all of the questions that we got right. Now, we know that we missed about 3 questions. So what we're going to do is we're going to open our file up, and we're going to go to the first question, number 1, NA. That's the one that we couldn't find the answer for. So it says, Mr. Quinn has recently turned 66. So we're going to go back to the exam, and we're going to look for that question. Mr. Quinn has recently turned 66. So this one was not in our original answer key, so we're going to add this one in. So I'm going to go to the snippet tool. I'm going to hit new. We will copy this question. I'm going to go to Adobe Acrobat. We'll go File, Create, PDF from Clipboard, and we will save that. I'm sorry, we'll edit that to make it searchable. And now I'm going to go File, Save As. We'll put it in the same folder. And I'm going to call this 1A. And I'm going to hit Save. All right, so I'm going to close these out. I'm going to go to our folder. And now I'm going to delete the one we didn't have an answer for, because now we have the correct answer. So we'll delete that one. We'll go to the second one that wasn't in our answer key, 2NA for not available. Open that up. That's Mr. Davis is 52 years old. So we'll go back to the exam. And let's find Mr. Davis. The nice thing is the exam, when you do the review, it highlights all the correct answers. So Mr. Davis, we just did a random guess and we got it wrong. The green highlight is always the correct answer. So I'll go to the snippet tool. We'll hit new. And we're going to copy that. We're going to go back to the Adobe Acrobat program. And we'll go File, Create, from Clipboard. We're going to edit it, and the program is going to make it searchable, and we'll go File, Save As, put it in the same folder, and this is 2A. And we'll close this, and now we have to make sure we delete that one so we can stay on track. I'm going to open the folder again, and we will delete number 2A, or NA. Let's delete that. And we have one final one that we didn't have in our answer key, and that is Mr. Pina's 66. So let's go here, and let's see if we can find, there it is. We're going to make a screenshot of that. Back to Adobe Acrobat, we'll go File, Create, PDF from Clipboard. We'll edit it to make it searchable. And we'll go File, Save As, put it in the same folder. And we're going to call this 3A. And we're almost done. We'll close that, and we will delete this last one that we didn't have an answer for. Okay, we have one final step. Now we have to make a new combination of all the answers with the 3 new added questions. So we're going to go down to the bottom. I'm going to click Adobe Acrobat. We're going to go to File, over to Create, and we're going to slide over. We are going to combine files into a single PDF. Click that. We'll click Add Files. And we are going to select all of them. And we'll hit Open. And we'll hit Combine. And we're going to go File, we're going to go Save As, and we'll put it in the same folder. And we're going to call this Module 1. Mod 1. Just save that. And I'm going to delete, because we already took all of these files and we combined them into this one file called Part 1. So I can just delete all of these now. So we're going to hit the checkbox there. I'm going to uncheck the very last one. And then I will use my delete key. And I'm going to delete everything. Alright, we're going to go back to the exam. We'll scroll to the bottom, and we are finished with our review. Alright, we got a 96. Now, we don't want to reattempt the quiz. I just want to go to the next part of the exam. So we're going to go back to our course. And now we have a green check mark in number 1. Now we're going to redo this whole process for all of these other modules the exact same way. We're going to go into Medicare Part 2. We're going to go and hit Next, And we're going to continue this till we get to the first exam question. All right, and now we're going to start this whole process all over again to make the answer key for Module 2. All right, now that you've completed all the practice exams, the last thing that we need to do is combine all those parts into one master exam sheet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back down to the Adobe Acrobat program, just like we did before. I'm going to go to File, Create, Combine into a single PDF. I'm going to add the files that we created. And I'm going to take part 1, 2, 3, 4, and part 5, and we are going to combine those into one master exam helper guide. And then we will just rename this file, save as, put it in the same folder, and I'm just going to call this Ahip exam. All right, there we go. We have all the different modules with all of the practice test questions and answers into one combined multi-plethora exam sheet, whatever you want to call it. So all you're going to do now is, when you go back to the Ahip, you're going to take the final exam. But what you're going to do is, to make your life easier, I'm going to downsize this so I can have both the exam and my reference guide on the same screen. So I'm going to squeeze that down. Let me open up the Adobe Acrobat. We'll click the little double squares here. That lets you change the actual size of the window. You got to be careful, because if you get it too close to the corner, it's just going to blow up and fill the whole screen. So I'm going to grab one of the sides here, and I'm going to slowly scrunch this over. And I'm going to have to adjust these so it's not too small. If you have a second monitor that's bigger, which I do, I usually will slide this on the bigger monitor because my second monitor is a bit wider than my laptop screen. Alright, so all you're going to do is you're going to hit the final exam, but I can't show that on the actual video, so I'm just going to go back to Module 5 to give you an example. And I'm going to do reattempt quiz. And what you can do is we will blow this up a little. Let's see, what are we at? We're at 15%. Let's go to 25%, just so I can see what's going on. All right, you're going to highlight the first part of the question. Now, Ahip gets a little bit tricky. They'll actually ask the same question, but sometimes they'll change the person's name. So I'll skip the person's name, and I'll just highlight any part of the sentence. We'll do a Control-C to copy. I'm going to go to my little magnifying glass. We'll paste it in the box. Control-V. If you're on a Windows PC, I'll hit Next. And there. It searched through, 203 questions to find the answer. So all I have to do is find the sentence that ends in January 1st. So we'll scroll this up, and it's that one right there, January 1st. And you're going to do this for the whole exam. I'll skip the name, and we'll go to part of the sentence. We'll do Control-C to copy, Control-V to paste. I'll hit Next. And this ends in not less than 2 months. So not less than 2 months. There it is, not less than 2 months. And this is the process that you're going to do for the whole Ahip exam. When you use this system, you should be able to get done with the exam. The quickest I've done it is about a half hour. Generally, it's going to take you about 45 to 50 minutes, but at least you know you're going to have all the right answers. So I hope that helped you guys out. Hey, if you guys, I know this is a kind of a lot for some people doing the cutting and pasting and all that jazz. If you click the link below, I have a special offer for you that can take some of the burden off of you. So just click the link below and find out what the special offer is that I have for you.